Good morning, and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You know, I love getting your day started off on the right foot. And to help with that, I use an inspiring quote. Here it is. You don't need all the answers to say yes to God. You just need to start. Ooh, think about that for a second. So many times we want to see the big picture, right? How many times have you held back from something because you didn't see that big picture, or you didn't have the full picture? Maybe you felt like you needed to know all the steps before taking the first one. But here's the thing. Some of the biggest, most life-changing moments happen when we say yes before we have all the details. I remember a time when I had no idea how things would work out, but I took a leap anyway. For me, what comes to top of mind for this is when I took the leap from TV to radio, because I had a really good job in Huntsville at a TV station. I was a videographer, a newscast editor. I was doing voiceovers there. I really didn't have to leave. Things were going great, but I felt that I needed to take this opportunity. I had it before me. I could jump into ministry. And the way I like to describe it is full-time ministry two ways, because it was two part-time ministry jobs. The first was I got to come here to the radio station and hang out with April on the Lifeline Morning Show. Yeah, we did this show together for years, and I think we had great chemistry. I absolutely loved working with April. But the other half of the ministry opportunity was being a church administrator at a church at Arab. And so I jumped into it. And you know what? I was a little unsure as to how things would work out, but things started clicking. Things started working. And yeah, a little more to that story later on in the show. I'll give you more of the details, but I didn't see the big picture as far as knowing all the steps that I needed to take. But I prayed about it. I asked God to be all over that decision, and I felt a peace about moving into that new chapter of my life. And I'm so glad that I did, because if I hadn't, look, I wouldn't be hanging out with you here right now. We wouldn't be able to build this community, this family that we have around this radio station. So I'm so thankful that I took that step, even when I didn't know how it would all go. And I still don't know how it will all go, but I'm taking one step at a time. You see, God doesn't ask us to have the whole plan figured out. He just asks us to trust Him enough to start. And when we do, well, that small yes can lead to something bigger than we ever imagined. So let me ask you, has there ever been a time when you said yes to something before you had it all figured out? Or maybe a job change, a relationship, or a step of faith? I'd love to hear about it. You want to send me a message, or maybe call in and share your story? Here's the number to call, 256-505-0885. I would love to hear your story. 256-505-0885. It may be the story that somebody needs to hear today to give them the confidence to take that next step, or maybe the first step in their new chapter. So, hey, share it with me, okay? All right. Now, Jeremy Camp with Walk by Faith. Ooh, that's fitting, isn't it? Because that's what we have to do. One step at a time, walking by faith. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline. Again, that phone number, 256-505-0885. Thanks for being here.
Will I believe you when you say your hand will guide my every way?
Hey guys, don't forget, stress is like riding in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it don't get you nowhere. Have a good day.
Checking those temperatures across North Alabama real quick. It looks like Boaz is sitting at 46 degrees, Arab at 46 as well. 48 right now here in Gunnersville, 48 in Bluentsville, 48 in Coleman. But yes, it looks like Scottsboro and Huntsville are both currently, kissing. There it is. The 50s. It's 51 in both places. All right, let's talk about your word of life real quick. From Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Now all glory to God, who is able, through His mighty power at work within us, to accomplish infinitely more than we might ask or think. Oh, that one makes me happy. How about you? Think about that. I want to read it one more time and really focus in on these words. Now all glory to God, who is able, through His mighty power at work within us, to accomplish infinitely more than we might ask or think. Oh, even bigger than our imaginations could come up with. He can do it. I love that. You know what? You should encourage somebody today by sharing that word of life with them. We've got it ready for you across all of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, or Twitter, and TikTok. And it's there at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Well, good morning to the Right Reverend Larry Walls. He's up with the chickens this morning. I got up before the chickens, I should say. Good morning to you, Pastor Larry. I hope you're having a great morning so far. I think it's time to do a little dance here. I got Won't He Do It. So feel free to do a little shoulder dance or get up and cut a rug.
When I can't see in front of me and I don't know what to do, I lift my head and remember that my God will come through. Said, won't He do it? Yes, He will. Won't He do it? Yes, He will.
So one of the coolest things about social media is that we can learn from each other there. It's a social avenue, right? We can learn what works, what doesn't work, and sometimes we want to, kind of copy this and see if maybe we can have the same outcome. Because, when you come across a video like this, it seems like a no-brainer.
All right, babe. We are heading for dinner. Mm-hmm. Can you guess where I'm taking you?
I don't know.
You know.
I know what I'm craving, but is it really?
Maybe. Say it.
Is it Shake Shack?
Yes!
No way.
You got it.
For real?
Yeah.
This is gonna be so good.
Really?
Yes.
I'm gonna be so full.
I love that. So yeah, the trick is, you don't really have anywhere in mind. You just ask them, guess where I'm taking you to dinner tonight? And whatever they come up with, that's where you go. That sounds like a win to me, because that's one of the most contentious conversations you can have as a married couple is, hey, what do you want to eat tonight? Where do you want to go? Because it's always one of those, well, I want this. No, I don't want that. And finally, you kind of have to negotiate and finally get there. But with that, it's like, hey, let's cut to the chase. I don't care where we go today, so I'm going to go wherever you tell me you want to go. I'm just going to trick you into it. So I love that. But you got to be careful with this, because some videos are not as nice. They don't produce the right results. Now, you can tell that this guy was trying to have a little fun, but as Justin points out, he may not know what he's in for.
Ooh, look at this here. Did you bring it?
Bring what?
Did you bring a better attitude today?
Everybody in that comment section saying, he ruined her day. No, he didn't. He ruined his day. He just don't know it yet. I've been around the block. I know these things. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul.
I'd like to shout some people out real quick. I see you, Joel Modest. Now, he is visiting some people down in Bradenton, Florida, so he's not in his normal Palm Coast, Florida, but I'm seeing that pin on my map. Thank you, sir, for making us a part of your day and taking us with you wherever you go, literally. Madison, I see you. Albertville, Gunnersville, I see you as well, hanging out with us here on the stream. And we can't forget our friends all the way over in Germany, Buchenstein and Vogland. I see you on the map as well. Oh, looks like Atlanta just popped on. Thanks for being here. All right. Well, hey, I do love shouting you out. And you know what I love even more than that? I love hearing from you so that I can shout you out properly, maybe shout you out by name, or play your favorite song, or maybe just celebrate with you when something big is happening in your life. Yeah, or maybe even pray for you if you're dealing with something that's really got you in a struggle mode. Yeah, we all get there. Thank you, by the way, for praying for me. I put up yesterday on the JFM family group that I wouldn't be here for the show because I was home sick, and I went to the doctor, got everything checked out, and it looks like I'm on the mend. Still not feeling 100%, but I'm feeling better, and I'm thankful for that. So with that in mind as well, I needed to let you know that I won't be here tomorrow morning on the show because I have a doctor's appointment to kind of follow up and check everything out. So I just wanted to give you that heads up. We won't have the car line competition tomorrow. I won't be here for the show tomorrow. But this morning, we're definitely going to have the car line competition. We're going to have some fun. And no, I'm not feeling 100%, but I'm here and I'm ready to have some fun with you and talk about some amazing topics. And, actually coming up, I've got Matt Ike He is that teacher. His name is Matt Eicheldinger. He's an author and a teacher, and he always shares some amazing stories with us. He's got one to share with us coming up in the next few minutes about a tie, of all things. And it's kind of a show and tell thing in his classroom. You're going to love this. This is as much for the parents as it is for the kids. So stick around for that, okay? All right, Ryan Stevenson, no matter what, right here, right now on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. We rarely get the opportunity to see from the perspective of a teacher unless they kind of tell us, how they handle things in the classroom. And I've found that teacher to help us with that. His name is Matt Eicheldinger. His kids call him Mr. Ike. And let me tell you, he's got some amazing stories. I share them here quite often. And today, it's all about a tie. Now, this is as much for the parents as it is for the kids. I think everybody is going to love this. So here, take a listen, see what you think.
Hello, my name is Matt. I'm a teacher, and today I want to tell you the story about a tie. I was teaching 6th grade, and my students were preparing to give a speech to the class. The topic was straightforward. You had to do a how-to speech, so you could demonstrate how to do a basketball shot or how to make a cake. As long as you could describe the step-by-step process, it really didn't matter. I have about 120 students, and it's really difficult for me to keep track of all of their topics. So that's why I was surprised when Otto showed up to class with a brand new topic the day of his speech. He stood up in front of the class, and he was wearing dress pants, a tucked-in button-up shirt that was way too big, and then a tie that was over his shoulder. Hello everyone, my name is Otto, and today I'm going to show you how to tie a tie. The first thing you do is, Otto froze up, and then he looked at me. Mr. Ike, can I watch something on my phone really quick? Giving a presentation in front of your peers can be a little intimidating, so if there's an opportunity to boost some confidence, I definitely try and give it to my students. Yeah, Otto, go ahead, watch the video over by my desk really quick. Otto pulled out his phone and we watched the video together. The video was of Otto filming his dad and grandpa. The dad was sitting in a chair, and the grandpa was behind him, talking through and demonstrating how to tie a tie on his own son. At one point in the video, I caught the reflection of Otto in the bedroom, watching his dad and his grandpa, and he was just smiling. After school that day, I went home and sat on the floor with my daughters as they giggled and played with their toys. There is so much that I want my girls to know and learn, and I hope they smile as big as Otto as I try to teach them the best I can.
Wow, what do you think about that? It puts you in the feels, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what? Those kids, they make a big difference in our lives. They really, I don't know, they mess us up in the best way possible, don't they? Yeah. So, I don't know, maybe you're with your child right now before going into the schoolhouse here, before dropping them off. You know what? There's a lot of great experiences, a lot of great things that have happened between you two. And sometimes I know that we don't see eye to eye. Sometimes our kids, well, they just get frustrated at us. They don't understand why we tell them no or why we won't let them do something. And honestly, it's because it is for their own good. It's our job as parents to keep them safe. And I hope that they understand that, even when that no seems like the end of the world. Yeah, it's a rough decision for us parents to make as well, because we don't want to see our kids frustrated like that. But sometimes it's necessary. And it's one of those things that these kids, they just won't know until they have kids of their own. It's one of those things. But anyway, I hope that you are having a great morning so far. We are getting ready to play the car line competition, so I hope you'll stick around and play with me next. First, Need to Breathe, When You Forgive Someone, right here on the Lifeline. Say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Give me the horn. All right, now let's go ahead and crank that engine, and then let's start that music so I can say, hey, everybody, it's time to play the car line competition. That's right, your chance to win some gift cards this morning. It's a trivia game. And how do you win? Well, I'm going to ask you a question, give you the cue to call. You're going to call me up, give me the right answer. When you do, you're going to win not 1, not 2, but 3 gift cards. 1 to keep, 2 to give away, and they are to Gunnersville Chick-fil-A, Albertville Home Bakery, and the Caring Heart Thrift Store in Arab. And don't be nervous, I don't take the phone calls live. Ready to play my game? Let's do this thing. First question is a Bible trivia question, and here we go. When Daniel prayed to God after it was not allowed, where was he thrown into? Was it A, the fiery furnace, B, a deep dark pit, C, was he thrown into jail, or D, the lion's den? 256-505-0885 is the number to call, and there is my caller. Stay right there on the phone line with me while I start this song and I get your answer. It's I with Luna with Right on Time, right here, right now, on the Lifeline Morning Show. Real hope, real faith, real life.
Right now, want that mountain.
88.5 JFM, good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on, Richard Udi?
Doing fine. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Oh, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Well, today's Tuesday, Cattle Barn Day, right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. All right. Well, you be safe up there. But right now, let's have a little fun. Got a question for you. When Daniel prayed to God after it was not allowed, where was he thrown into? Was it A, the fiery furnace, B, a deep dark pit, C, into jail, or D, the lion's den?
It's D, the lion's den.
It sure is. Congratulations to you. You just won 3 gift cards, sir. What do you think about that?
I like it, but I'm going to start that train this morning.
Let's do it, man. All right. Sounds great. We'll get that thing rolling. Hey, you want to shout somebody out?
Well, I'm going to shout out my sister-in-law, because she does a lot of stuff at church, and she works really hard and keeps everything in order.
That's awesome. What's her name?
Diane Orr.
Diane Orr. Very cool. Sharing the love with the sister-in-law. Man, thanks so much for calling. Hope you have a great day.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That's how it's done. That train rolling through. Now those 3 gift cards become 6. And here is my next question for you. Which of these animals secretes its own natural sunblock? A, a dog, B, a hippo, C, a buffalo, or D, a meerkat? 256-505-0885 is a number to call. Again, which of these animals secretes its own natural sunblock? Is it A, a dog, B, a hippo, C, a buffalo, or D, a meerkat? 256-505-0885. Call me up. Let me know. Guess what? You could win 6 gift cards. Oh, and hey, don't worry. If you don't get it the first time, I'll give you 2 shots at it. All right? 256-505-0885. Now, how about some Johnny Diaz and Breathe right here, right now on the Lifeline. 88.5 JFM, good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I can't complain. So, what's your name?
Darren.
All right, Darren, what we up to today?
Dropping my granddaughter off at school.
Very cool. All right, so, got this question for you. It's all about the animals, and this one in particular, well, it secretes its own sunblock. It's a natural sunblock that it produces itself. But which of these animals is it? Is it a dog, a hippo, a buffalo, or a meerkat?
I don't know, but I believe it may be the hippo.
I believe you may be correct. Congratulations. You just won
thank
6 gift cards. You're very, very welcome. That's a lot of love to share with a lot of people, huh?
Yeah, sure enough.
Very cool. All right, well, hey, you want to tell me about a couple of those people?
Yeah. My son.
All right, what's his name?
His name's Brian.
Brian. What do we love about Brian?
He's becoming a new father, and just watching the joy on his face, they're expecting in April. So,
wow.
Yeah, and he's taking care of his family, doing what he's supposed to do. So, yeah.
Wow. All right. So we got that son. Now, who else you want to shout out?
Shout out to my daughter-in-law.
All right. Very cool. Okay. What do you love about that daughter-in-law?
Well, she's a good mom. She has 2 kids already, so yeah, she's a super mom, and just real nice. I don't know.
Very cool.
Good person.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for sharing the love here on the radio. What's your last name, Darren?
It's Causey.
Oh, cool.
I'd like to just continue the train if that's okay.
Yeah, we can totally do that. Yeah. All right. So the 6 now become 9. Man, you rock. I hope you have a great day.
All right. You too.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Bye. Wow. Those 6 now become 9 gift cards. That's a whole lot of love to share. So I wonder if you have what it takes to win. Well, let's find out. Here is the question that I have for you. Which of the following is the largest breed of penguin? Is it A, Emperor, B, Fairy, C, Galapagos, or D, Royal? 256-505-0885 is a number to call. Again, which of the following is the largest breed of penguin? Is it an Emperor, a Fairy, a Galapagos, or a Royal? There's my caller. Stay right there on the phone line while I start this song. I'll get your answer. It's Forrest Frank. Never get used to this. Right here, right now.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Doing good.
Good. Who am I talking to?
Chance.
Chance. All right, Chance. So, what are we up to today?
Nothing much, just going to school.
Going to school. What grade?
Ninth grade.
Ninth grade. We liking it so far?
Yes, sir. I'm loving it, actually. It's one of my favorite years of school.
Really? The first year of high school, and you're loving it?
Yes, sir.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that. What's your favorite thing about it so far?
Being on the basketball team.
Oh, yeah. That is awesome. All right. Well, hey, I got a question for you. It could land you 9 gift cards. I don't know how closely you paid attention in science class and biology and when they're talking about all these animals, but you see, these penguins, one of them is the largest breed of penguin. Which is it? Is it an emperor, a fairy, a Galapagos, or a royal?
Emperor.
Emperor. An emperor penguin. Are you fairly confident that's the correct answer? You want to lock that in, or you want to give it a second shot?
I'm going to lock that in.
You want to lock that in. I'm glad you did, because you just won 9 gift cards. What do you think about that?
I think that's awesome, but can I roll those on?
Oh, my. Yeah, you can. I hear that train in the background. Those 9 now become 12, and you rock. Hey, you want to shout somebody out just for the fun of it, just to share some love here on the radio?
Yeah, my best friend, Cage.
Cage. What do we like about Cage?
He's just a good friend, and, he makes, 9th grade more enjoyable. I have all of my core classes with him. Yeah. And he's just a good friend, and just a joy to hang out with.
Man, that's awesome. Those good friends, they make life a whole lot better and a whole lot easier. All right. Well, hey, man, I hope you have the best day ever at school, and we'll roll those gift cards on.
Thank you so much. You have a good day, too.
Yeah, hey, Chance, do you mind if I ask you one more question?
Yeah.
Why do you listen to us?
I listen to you guys because it's just a good way to start the day, to listen to some positive music and some good music.
Oh, man, thank you so much. You're the reason why we're here. Have a great day. And that is how it's done. Look at that. Those 9 gift cards now turn into 12. So guess what? On Thursday, we will start the car line competition with 12 gift cards on the first question. That's right, 12 gift cards. It's on Thursday. I won't be here tomorrow because I have a doctor's appointment at 8 o'clock in Huntsville. So I'm sorry, I won't be able to be here on the show. But giving you a heads up now that on Thursday, first question of the car line competition is going to be loaded, stacked with 12 gift cards. So it's going to be so much fun. I'm looking forward to it. All right, but don't go anywhere. We've got a lot of show left today. And I just wanted to remind you, in case you have to step away from your radio, you can tune us in on your smart device. Just go to 885jfm.com, click that on now button and press play, and we can keep you company all day long. And if you can't do that, I completely understand. Sometimes at the workplace, they won't let you listen to stuff. I got you. So if you want to catch up or hear something or maybe share something that you heard here on the show, you can do that after the show at 10:30 this morning. I'll post today's show as a podcast episode on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. All you have to do is go there and type in Lifeline Morning Show on either of those platforms. Again, at Spotify or Apple Podcast, and you'll see today's episode at the top of the page. Again, I post those at 10:30 every weekday morning when we have a fresh show. So yeah, you can catch it there. And if you would, share it with somebody. We're trying to reach as many people as possible. All right. Thanks again, Chance. That was awesome. Thank you for the love. And I'm so glad that you enjoy listening to this radio station. You know what? We are about to celebrate 30 years of reaching this world with some really good news. And guess what? You're a part of that story. So thank you for being here.
Mercy Me is coming to Huntsville. Introducing Mercy Me Live 2025 with Mercy Me, Zach Williams, and Sam Wesley. March 30th at the Von Braun Center. Mercy Me Live 2025 with Mercy Me, Zach Williams, and Sam Wesley. For more info, visit mercyme.org.
This is Pastor Gary Kraft with your Drive Time Devotion. One of the first things I said to my children after they were born was, I love you. And that's one of the first things I taught them to say. Sometimes it came out like, I love you, with a B instead of a V, but learning how to say it was no big deal. The real challenge was learning how to do it. Because after all, love is not as much of a feeling as it is valuing others in a way that causes us to act for their welfare. When we look at the great love chapter of 1 Corinthians 13, no actual definition of love is given, only characteristics of how love acts or doesn't act. Our culture is flooded with subtle hints about what love really is, which usually amounts to lustful desires or euphoric emotions. All of us know those moments when there is no great desire and no euphoric emotion. Maybe we need to go back today and examine Paul's description of how real love acts. Sometimes we have to ask ourselves the question, will I act for the welfare of the one I'm supposed to love? And our action on their behalf becomes the measure and evidence of our love for that person. None of us like tests, but this one is necessary if we want to grow in our experience and expression of real love. Let's pray. Father, you demonstrated your love to us while we were yet sinners by sending your Son. Show us how to demonstrate love today for you and those around us, and empower us to do it well. In Christ's name, amen.
It's so funny. Me and Martin, well, we've been communicating in GIFs again. Let me tell you a little bit about what's going down, okay? So Martin, lots of times, well, he'll send me a GIF, and it's specifically to play one song, but this morning it was for a different reason. And he said he can't wait to try to win the 12 gift cards on Thursday on the car line competition. And so he sent me a GIF of Patrick the Starfish from SpongeBob SquarePants. It kind of has that grin on his face, like the mwahaha, like that kind of thing, right? Like, I can't wait to try to win. He's kind of got he's thinking, right? He's planning. And so I sent him back. I said, man, I hope you win them. And I sent him back a SpongeBob with this maniacal laugh, right? And that's how I found it, by the way. Martin, that's what I put in. I put SpongeBob maniacal, and I found it that way. And he said that's actually the one I was looking for, but couldn't find it. So there you go, sir. Glad I could help. All right. Well, hey, I'd love to hear from you as well. You want to send me a GIF, or I don't know, just let me know your favorite song so I can play it for you? Well, here's how you do that. Text me, 256-967-0885. I'd love to hear from you. 256-967-0885. All right. I think now, just because it's Martin, we got to do a little happy dance.
Hey, you in the corner shaking in those boots.
Mr. Kevin Allen reached out to me and was asking if maybe I could play the song Never by Tasha Layton. Yes, I can. I'll be happy to. Thank you, Kevin, for reaching out.
When this broken world is breaking me down, when my tears and knees both fall to the ground.
Ah, those college days, the days of wide-eyed wonder. It's like, okay, I'm ready to start this next chapter. What is this going to feel like? And let me tell you, it's definitely different because you're not having to get up and go to school, be there by 7:30 every morning. No, you might have a class that starts at 9:20. So you just got to get on the road, make sure you're there in time, and everything works out just fine. But just stepping out and starting to go to college, well, that can be quite the ordeal because, you see, for me, I was the first person in my family to go to college, and I had to have some help. So I put in for the Pell Grant, and sure enough, I got one, and I was able to go, and I went to Wallace State. That was my first stop. Later on, I went to Jacksonville State, and I was able to get some scholarships through music and through academics. So it all panned out. It all worked. But taking that step and going to college, it might be, I don't know, a little daunting. I know, but hey, the more you do it, the less daunting it feels, and so you are feeling a little more comfortable. You kind of get into a rhythm of it, right? But I love that God puts people in our lives, yes, even at college, who help us to figure out, what our next step should be, because they're there to help us. We're learning the best we can to do what we want to do, but so many times you change your mind. For me, I'm glad I went to Wallace State because I was getting those basics out of the way, and then I could kind of focus in on what I wanted to do. And yeah, it kind of changed. At first, I was going to go pre-med, right? And, well, that didn't quite pan out. I was really having problems with chemistry and with pre-calculus trigonometry. If we're being honest, pre-calculus trigonometry kicked my butt. It was not good. And as far as the other math classes that I had, I was usually the last one to leave the classroom because the teacher was helping me understand these questions a little more fully. So, yeah, it was a struggle. But I'm glad that people were in my life to kind of point me in the right direction, help me figure out, what I need to do. And that's exactly what happened for Jason. You probably know Jason from a few movies, maybe the show Seinfeld. Jason Alexander. And he had an experience that I thought was worth sharing with you. So here, take a listen to this. It's quite a cool story, but it's just so cool how, I don't know, those people can be put in our lives at just the right time to help us figure out what our next step is supposed to be.
I went to Boston University as a theater major, and because William Shatner was my muse, I wanted a dramatic career. I really thought I was going to play some of the great classical roles and be a dramatic actor. I hadn't done much comedy. I'd done some musicals, so there was that, but I hadn't done much comedy. And the second semester of my sophomore year, I had a professor named James Spruill at Boston. He was a guy who had come up in the 60s with street theater. Theater is to change the minds of the masses, you know, affect change. He was a real guy. And he brought me into his office for my semester consultation. And he had this great basso kind of James Earl Jones voice. And he sat back and he just kind of nodded his head and looked at me for a minute. And he went, I know that your heart and soul is Hamlet. And you would be a profound play Hamlet. So you best get good at Falstaff. And I went, what? And he basically said, look in the mirror. You are 5'6". You are 20 to 25 pounds overweight, and you are losing your hair. You have a large performing persona.
Right.
If you want a commercially successful career, you're going to be a comedian. And you're not embracing it, you're not looking at it, you're not doing it.
So great.
Had he not said to me, you ain't Hamlet, man. I would have finished that school and gone into the professional world thinking, well, here we go. Here's Jason Alexander and the Iceman cometh. It's what everybody is waiting for. And I would have been wrong.
What do you think about that? Somebody to kind of steer him in the right direction, and the rest is history. He did amazing work on the show Seinfeld and so many other comedy movies. So, hey, I think we need to be open to that kind of instruction. You know, God puts people in our lives for a reason, to kind of help us to figure out what's next. Now, while I say that, I also need to tell you that be careful who you listen to. Just kind of, when they give you that advice, pray about it. Ask your Heavenly Father, hey, is this really for me? And let Him confirm that for you. I'd say that was a confirmation for Jason. What do you think? He was, by the way, being interviewed on the Tom Papa podcast, another amazing comedian. Anyway, I just had to share that interview with you because those formative years, when you're trying to figure out what you want to be when you grow up, it really helps to have somebody with that knowledge and that wisdom to kind of steer you in the right direction. So, thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Now I'm Kane with Friend in Jesus, right here, right now, on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Richard Udi wants me to throw it back a few years. Yeah, this is a Carmen song called The Champion. Oh, it's so good. Thanks for requesting this, Richard.
In the vast expanse of a timeless place where silence ruled the outer space, ominously towering it stood, the symbol of a spirit war between the one named Lucifer and the morning star, the ultimate of good.
It is amazing to me what God can do with our small steps. He can turn it into something huge. I'll share more with you about a personal way I've seen that in my life. Coming up shortly. Stick around. Here's Sidewalk Prophets.
I couldn't see it then, but I believe it now.
From my earliest memories, I have been mesmerized by, well, TV and radio. When I was a kid, I would lots of times repeat these lines that I heard on commercials. And through the years, I would even, while I'm going down the road and I see these billboards or these signs for businesses, I kind of read them in that announcer voice, you know, like what you hear on TV or the radio. Yeah, it's just something I've always done. And so it was something I was kind of interested in. And I had the opportunity to kind of make that a reality. So I started taking small steps, really small steps. I was working at Channel 48 in Huntsville. And while I was there, well, they had a creative department. They had a department that took care of all the commercials for the TV station. And so they needed voices from time to time. And I knew one of the guys there would voice things from time to time. So I got to asking, hey, how do I get in on this? And they set me up. And sure enough, I started doing it. A little commercial here, there. One of my favorite ones was a regional commercial. It was for Pepsi. Yeah, Pepsi, a Southern original. It was so cool. So I got to doing that. Those were little small steps I was taking, right? And, well, it was a little ways into me working at 48 that I was at a concert in Albertville at the Fine Arts and Performing Arts Center there at the high school. Carrie Job was there in concert. And while I was standing there, I noticed that, somebody from this radio station was kind of going around saying hi to people, and I found out who she was. I'm like, oh, April, it's so nice to meet you. Hey, I'm really interested in doing voiceover and things like that. Could you ever use any help voicing any commercials, anything like that on the station? She's like, oh yeah, we can always use some help with that. So then I started putting together some stuff at the house. I had a little home studio set up. So I would voice it and I would send it over and she would use it. That got me excited. And then those small steps turned into something bigger because, you see, it turned out that I guess I was okay at it. And she kept using my stuff. And finally it turned into, well, hey, is there a possibility that I could be a part of the station? And sure enough, that's what it turned into. And before I knew it, I was coming out of television into full-time ministry. And I say it this way, full-time ministry two ways. Because I was coming out of that full-time job at 48. I was going into two part-time jobs. One was a church administrator at a church in Arab, and the other was here on the radio station. And those early years were a little different because I wouldn't be here for the whole show. I'd come in at 7 or 8 o'clock and spend a couple hours and finish out the show with April. But look at where those small steps have led. It's amazing to me what God can do with the small steps that we're faithful to take in our lives. He can turn it into something bigger than we could ever imagine. And look at where we are today. All these years later, I get to hang out with you for the entire 4 hours on the Lifeline. And I get to share some inspiring music and some encouraging stories. And we get to talk. We build community here on the radio. And it was from taking those small steps. So what small steps are you taking today? Or what small steps have you been wanting to start taking? Well, could I tell you, if you've been wanting to do it, why not go ahead and start today? Start taking those small steps and let's see where God takes it, because He has an amazing way of making things huge that start off so small. Lists can help you be productive, but what happens when the list really gets in the way? Ooh, we're going to dive into that one coming up shortly here on the Lifeline. Stick around. It's going to be really good. But in the meantime, how about another great song? Here's God Ain't Finished Yet by Emerson Day. Looks like all of us are in the 50s now across North Alabama. It's 53 in Albertville, 55 in Coleman and Bluentsville, and 56 right now in Scottsboro. Your forecast is brought to you by Classic by the Lake Express Car Wash. They're locally owned, locally operated, full-service family car wash, and the home of the unlimited monthly wash plan. They're at the top of the mountain in Gunnersville, next door to Gunnersville Chevrolet. That's Classic by the Lake Express Car Wash. Now your word of life. Today from Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Now all glory to God, who is able through His mighty power at work within us to accomplish infinitely more than we might ask or think. Oh, I love that one. Hey, that's worth sharing with somebody and tell them what it means to you. It's a great way of sharing your faith. We've got it for you across our socials in photo and video form on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, or Twitter, and TikTok. And it's there at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. All right, more great music headed your way. I've got Jeremy Camp these days right here, right now on the Lifeline on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. I love a good list. How about you? Yeah, maybe it's a shopping list. You're going to the grocery store. You want to remember what to pick up. I got you. Yeah, lots of times I'll put that on my phone in the Notes app. My wife, on the other hand, she hates having it in digital form. She has to have a piece of paper and it written down on that sheet of paper. The only problem is she forgets that sheet of paper when she goes to the store. more often than not. But luckily, if I'm still at the house, I'll snap a picture of it and send it to her. So she still gets it digitally. But anyway, it works, right? But sometimes the lists, well, they can become a bit of a problem. I was wondering, what are the pros and cons of making a list? And this is what I found, and it makes a lot of sense to me. So lists keep information organized, right? It structures thoughts clearly. Well, the con is sometimes we oversimplify complex ideas. It lacks depth if it's too brief. So you got to make sure to write down all the stuff involved. All right, a pro of making lists is it's easy to read and scan, right? Quick access to key points. Well, the con to that is it lacks flow. It doesn't always provide a smooth narrative. So I don't know, maybe you use lists a lot. If it's shopping, great, a list of things to buy. Maybe it's, I don't know, a list of what you hope to achieve over the next 5 years. Call it your 5-year plan. I think it's good for us to write it down and make it plain, kind of have it there so we can go back and think about it and kind of revisit and figure out, okay, am I doing that? Has that already happened? Because then you can kind of check things off that list. But what happens when the list gets in the way? Well, that's where we find Lydia today. A startling revelation that she had in her prayer time. Wow. Take a listen to this.
A plot twist when it came to my prayer life and my relationship with the Lord that I was not expecting but has forever changed my life has been the idea that God does not have boxes to check or a list to check off when it comes to my time with Him in prayer. And I would come into the secret place, which is just my time alone with Him, prayer. I don't have my phone in there. I don't have anything. It's just me and Him. I would come in with these lists and these boxes to check and these things I wanted to cross off so that I could feel productive. So when I came out and I was in the world, I was okay because I had finished the tasks that I wanted before the Lord. And I would bring my list before Him. And I just felt like He's like, I don't care about that. How's your heart? And I didn't like that, actually. I actually was not comfortable with Him looking at me and seeing everything. I wanted Him to look at the list I brought so we could talk about some things to work through. But He actually saw things that I needed to work out, and He met me in those places.
Jesus wants to take us deeper than just a prayer list. So let Him work on your heart today.
Come and see the Savior's love that would die to make you new. Nothing you have ever done can change the mercies done for you.
Give me all the negative thoughts. Just do it. Give them to me. Don't hold on to them. Why would you do that? They're gone. How do you feel? Don't even think about them. Do you feel lighter? Take a deep breath. It's kind of nice. You're not in any danger. There's nothing to stress about right now. And if you think there is, that's the thought. It's the thought that stresses you out. Because right now, we're just chilling. Take a deep breath more often. And just remind yourself that you are not being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. And that everything is kind of okay. I love ya!
Well, good morning and welcome in to this day in history. A chance for us to look back on yesteryear to celebrate some milestones and some achievements, the movers and the shakers who brought us this far. So what happened on this day in history? Well, we've got a little bit of catching up to do, so bear with me. It won't take long. We're going to go back to Saturday, March 1st. Since I wasn't here yesterday, got just a few things to point out. March 1st, 1360, the young English author Geoffrey Chaucer, who later wrote the Canterbury Tales, was ransomed during the 100 Years' War by King Edward III, who paid £16 for his release. In 1864, French inventor Louis Ducos du Harron patented, but does not build, a machine for making and projecting motion pictures. So patenting it, but not building it. In 1872, the world's first national park, Yellowstone, was established in the West on account of its geysers, hot pools, and other geothermal curiosities. In 1975, the Japanese-made Honda Civic was introduced in the United States as an economical, gas-efficient alternative to large American cars. And those Civics are still around today, aren't they? Also, In 1961, newly elected U.S. President John F. Kennedy issued an executive order establishing the Peace Corps. During the course of his campaign for the presidency in 1960, Kennedy floated the idea that a new army should be created by the United States made up of civilians who would volunteer their time and skills to travel to underdeveloped nations to assist them in any way they could. To fulfill this plan, Kennedy created the Peace Corps as a trial program. Several months later, Congress voted to make the Corps permanent. And then, in 1954, Ron Howard was born on March 1st. That's right. You remember Andy Griffith's show? Yeah, Opie. He's an American actor and director. Really cool guy. Now, let's move on. March 2nd. All the way back in 1896, in the first recognition of what would later be called radioactivity, French scientist Henri Becquerel reported his discovery of penetrating rays from a uranium compound. Also, in 1904, Dr. Seuss was born, the American children's book author, The Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Yeah. In 1917, Desi Arnaz was born, the Cuban band leader and actor. Remember him from I Love Lucy? Lucy, you got some splaining to do. I love that show. Also, March 3rd, 1887, American tutor Anne Sullivan began teaching 6-year-old Helen Keller, who had lost her sight and hearing after a severe illness at the age of 19 months, which has a local tie because that happened in Killen, Alabama, not too far from here. Also in 1931, Francis Scott Key's patriotic hymn, The Star-Spangled Banner, became the official national anthem of the United States. And in 1847, Alexander Graham Bell was born, the American inventor of the telephone. Moving on to today, this day in history. In 1789, the first session of the U.S. Congress opened in New York City as the nation's new Constitution took effect. In 1902, the American Automobile Association is founded to address the problems that commonly plague motorists. And then in 1754, Benjamin Waterhouse was born, the American physician and smallpox vaccine pioneer. And in 1782, Johann Wyss, the Swiss folklorist and author of The Swiss Family Robinson, was born. And there you have it, this day in history. Now it's time for me to bring the music down, close the book, and remind you of the simple truth. There are many facts and figures and excerpts of people's lives written throughout this book, from cover to cover. Some even have the smiling face of the person who made such impacts. What an honor to be included in a history book. Could you imagine how humbling that would be for people to learn of you and your contributions long after you're gone? I hope you get that privilege. I really do. But just in case you don't, whether it's done that way or not, I can tell you most assuredly where your history is being written every single day. That's on the hearts and in the minds of every single person you come in contact with. So I'm wondering, could you take a challenge I like to take every day with me? It's simply this. Let's resolve to make good history today, so that when others think of us, they'll get a smile on their face, a little extra warmth in their heart. Can you rise to the occasion? Can you take that challenge? I know you can. Thanks for hanging out with me. You're on the Lifeline Morning Show. Now, Evan Kraft with Chances, right here on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better.
There's a lie that says you're defined by your mistakes, telling you that you can try, but you'll never change.
Well, it's time for us to check in with a good friend of ours. His name is Brian Trent from Hampton, South Carolina, where he pastors the Lighthouse Church. He and his family are all across the socials under this handle, Trent Tribe. You can find them for yourself and maybe even follow him like I've been doing for over a year now. So glad that I have, because every day he has something new, something like this.
Hey, if you've ever struggled with God's direction and provision in your life, can I encourage you? So in John chapter 21, it tells the story of the disciples going fishing and catching nothing. This was after Jesus' death and resurrection. And so then Jesus came up and said, cast your nets on the other side. And when they did, they couldn't even haul them all in. When the book of Jonah, in the Old Testament, we see Jonah get direction from God and turn and go the complete opposite direction. You see, you may not have realized that both of these stories actually speak to obeying God's voice, going the direction that God wanted each of them to go. See, God is prepared one way, but He's prepared to go with us our way, but it's only to lead us back to His way. That's called grace. Obviously, Jonah was going the complete opposite direction that God wanted him to go, and I believe that all of us know what that feels like. But did you know that it's possible to be running from God, but actually going the same direction? So it's not as obvious that I'm running from God because I look the part. I'm in church. I'm doing the Christian thing. I'm in Bible study. I don't use curse words. I go to Sunday school. I'm on the worship team. I volunteer a lot. I text my pastor encouraging message on a weekly basis, but there's no true change. There's no satisfaction or growth. There's something missing, and you know it. And then you go back to that story to the disciples, and they put forth effort to catch nothing, but then under the leadership of Jesus, caught more than they could stand. Think about this story, because nothing changed about the story other than that Jesus spoke and they obeyed. See, the resources were the same. The nets, the boats, the water, the people. They didn't run down to the Bass Pro Shop right after he said something and got new rod and reels, a new boat, new nets, all that stuff. No, it was the same resources. You see, some of us are praying for new resources today, or more resources, but what it may not be resources that we need. We may have exactly what we need right now, but we aren't walking in faith with what God has provided. See, Jonah and the disciples both put forth effort, but there was only one way that was profitable for them to go. But here's the good news. You see, God is always going before you. God had already gone before Jonah, and we know that because when Jonah got to Nineveh, the sermon that he preached, even with the half-hearted effort that he gave probably, was well received, and all the people humbled themselves down and believed the word that he preached. It was actually so much easier, in my opinion, than getting swallowed by a big fish. Now, we know that Jonah still had issues after that with why God would extend his mercy and his grace to the evil people of Nineveh, which is crazy. But even in Jonah's toxic state of mind, God still provided shade for him. And then he even provided a worm to eat the shade so that Jonah would get up and move on. Because sometimes what we need is a worm to get us to get off our booties and move on down the road, if you know what I mean. See, God is always preparing a way, and he's excited to share that way with you. The disciples had fished all night, and they caught nothing, and they were sitting on top of God's provision, but they didn't know it. Some of us are so close, though. We're sitting right on top of it, but we can't see it yet. We don't know it's there yet, and what we need is a word from God. Both of those stories that I just shared, that was the difference maker. The Word of God. God's Word and direction to them. And that's what you need today. That's what I need today. God proves to us here and other places that he not only prepares a way for us, but he's also eager to share his preparation and his way with us. God has already prepared a way for you, and he continues to clear the path, and he always will. Trust him with that. Love you guys.
Again, that's Brian Trent. You can find him across the socials under the handle Trent, T-R-E-N-T, Tribe, T-R-I-B-E. You'll be glad that you did. Now, Megan Woods with The Truth, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Right now it's 56 degrees in Boaz, it's 56 in Arab, 59 already in Huntsville, and yes, Scottsboro is currently kissing that 60-degree mark. Now, that kiss can be a little deceitful because the warmer it gets, the more unstable the atmosphere, which causes those storms to be weird out there. So with that in mind, please stay weather aware today. And if you don't already have it, might I suggest the WAFF 48 First Alert Weather app. It's absolutely free to put on your smart device. You can go download it wherever you get your apps, and it's a great way to stay in the know and keep yourself and your family safe. Again, that's the WAFF 48 First Alert Weather app. Now, let's talk a little bit about your word of life. After I tell you that your forecast is brought to you by Don Abbott and the whole team at One Team Heating and Cooling, where they service the Marshall County area with sales, maintenance, and repair. They're online at oneteamhvac.com, and their phone number is 256-660-0950. That word of life now. Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Now all glory to God, who is able through his mighty power at work within us to accomplish infinitely more than we might ask or think. I love that. Yes, he can accomplish infinitely more. Think about that. Then you can even imagine. And he's just that good. It's like when he answers it, he doesn't just cover all the bases. No, he goes the extra mile. It's just amazing to me how good he is. And you know what? It's worth talking about. So share that word of life with somebody. We've got it ready for you across all of our socials and at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. I want to shout some people out real quick. Okay, so I'm looking at my streaming map, and I see you are listening to us down in Reno County, Kansas. Thank you for being here. By the way, when it shows me that pin, it's right in the middle of the Cheney Reservoir. So I don't know if you have a houseboat or what's going on there, but every time I see your pen, it's in the middle of that lake. I hope you're having a great morning so far. Hey, why don't you text me? Let me know your name, maybe your favorite song, so I can play it for you. And I'll find out if you do actually live on a houseboat, okay? 256-967-0885. All right, we've also got our friends up in Tennessee, just a little northeast of Sevierville, near Newport, Tennessee. Thank you for being here this morning. We've also got Fort Payne hanging out. Thank you for being here. Albertville, Gunnersville, and Arab, I see you. We got Joel Modest down in Bradenton, Florida, visiting some friends right now. Usually he's in Palm Coast, but he's on the other side of the state. And then we've got our friends making us a part of their afternoon in Germany right now, in Fuchenstein and Vogelin. Thank you for being here. All right, I guess we got time for maybe one or two more songs, and I'll be back to close out the show. It's hard to believe 10 o'clock is almost here, but it is. Crazy, right? Benjamin William Hastings, That's the Thing About Praise, right here on the Lifeline, on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better.
When the rain you want is a flood instead, and the roses bloom, but they're not quite red.
Well, the time has come for me to bid you adieu, but before I do, I'd like to share with you an inspiring quote. In fact, some might say it's the most inspiring quote of the day. You don't need all the answers to say yes to God. You just need to start. Remember, God isn't waiting for you to have all the answers. He's just waiting for you to trust Him enough to take that first step. Your small yes today could be the beginning of something bigger than you ever imagined. So what's one thing you can say yes to today, even if you don't have it all figured out? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Send me a message or a DM anytime at text number 256-967-0885. And if you enjoyed today's show, share it with a friend who needs a little encouragement, okay? I'll see you back here on Thursday for the Lifeline Morning Show. Until then, have the best day ever. And I will see you then.